The Mummy has returned to the shelves at your comic store. Let's talk about that. Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. In this video, you will see me talk about the full Universal Monsters, the Mummy series that recently came out from Image Skybound. But this little introduction is because that re release was when I finished reading the series. This is to commemorate that the hardcover collection is coming out by Eisner Award winning and New York Times best selling author Faith Erin Hicks as they resurrect one of the most iconic monsters in their bold take of the Mummy. Um, this is a romantic story. This is very much a throwback to the original Mummy story. This collects issues 1 through 4, and it's really great. I love the story as it was going on. There are two really cool covers for this, so hopefully you get to see one of those. One of them has the main cover by Faith Erin Hicks. The other one is by David Talaski. It's the direct market edition. So either one that you pick up, I think you'll be in good hands. As I mentioned, this is written and with art by Faith Erin Hicks, colors by Loughridge, and letters by Hassan Otsmane Elhau. But yeah, this is you know it's about the curse of the mummy. It's about this character Helen, who is a woman born to two different worlds, right? She's of mixed descent, Egyptian and English. And then when these unknown voices start bringing her to the dig site and the mummy is unleashed, that's when kind of things start playing out. But this happens, through different moments in her life. So that's really an interesting part. Each issue is kind of a little bit, you get to see her when she was younger and then a little bit older. And also, it's not just about the mummy and how the curse affects her and the place around her, but also how people treat her because she is different. And maybe the mummy is the only one that understands how she really feels about stuff. It's a great book, but let don't let me tell you all about it. Let me tell you about it instead in this video. So go ahead and check that out, and make sure to come back because we'll be talking more about Universal Monsters. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we're going to be doing a review for The Mummy issues 1 through 4. This is a book from, of course, Universal Monster series from Image Skybound. Let's talk about the creative team before we get into this book. This is written and with art by Faith Erin Hicks, whom you may know for their Eisner Award winning The Nameless City trilogy. We have colors by Lee Loughridge and letters by Hassan Otsmane Elhau. A plethora of covers, which you may see some of those in the video. In 1912 Egypt, Helen Grosvenor, a half-British, half-Egyptian girl, feels divided by her dual heritage, but also she's haunted since childhood by mysterious voices, and she returns to this archaeological site that she is tied to her past, and that unleashes the curse of the mummy. Uh, I really enjoyed this series. I think a lot of the Universal Monster series have been pretty good. I mean, I love Dracula, Creature of the Black Lagoon. The Invisible Man's coming up next. And I think The Mummy was just a really cool, really different approach to what I thought this book might be, which was a nice surprise. I think that a lot of the time there are ways to tell these stories in a way that they don't really feel fresh or new, but I don't think that's what happened here. I think Erin Hicks and the team, they did a really cool job of updating and giving us a little bit of a horror story that's also kind of a romance story, which is also just really involves in a very interpersonal story as we follow Helen throughout all these years. Each of the issues skips a little bit from time to time during her life, but I think at the center of it is just really this relationship between Helen and this voice that she hears. Right, I really feel like it was very smart to not make the mummy put the mummy at the forefront of the story, because I feel like that gives a little bit more humanity to what's going on. It's definitely a very strong emotionally story, and really kind of a coming of age story for Helen, which is just wrapped up in this really cool, the bandages to the mummy. I love how expressive the art is. I think that, uh, you know, Aaron Hicks and Loughridge do a really good job of not just evoking the past in this really cool way with the coloring and the art, but also some of the pages just feel like maybe a relic that you found in the past. So really representative of that. I think the mummy itself is not very gruesome. I think it's really interesting that we feel a little bit of sympathy for the mummy, the character of the mummy. But after the story starts to unravel, we definitely get a bigger glimpse at why the mummy has returned. And I love the 1999 Mummy movie. It's probably my favorite iteration of the story. But this was really cool because it gave me like something very different, right? We have a lot of themes of Helen's identity and her duality, right? Being brought up as a British citizen, but also having Egyptian roots, living in Egypt. All her peers are Egyptian, but they are also the people that are, the kids, her servants in the house. So that's really interesting. And of course, we have this mummy coming into this new world. So it's kind of a comparison of the modern versus the ancient. We also have the power of temptation. As Helen's connection grows with Imhotep, we see a little bit of control and a struggle within Helen and Anaxenamur. I'm gonna say it like that. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how the movie says it. So that's how that is the voice that is within Helen. So yeah, overall, like this just feels like whether you're looking for a romantic story or maybe something a little bit more in the horror genre, I think this satisfies both things. Um, Let me give you a quick rundown of the issues. In the first issue, we see that Helen, as she returns to the dig site, drawn by these voices, which sets off the mystery, we see that the curse is unleashed. The mummy's introduced. The mummy's brought to life because somebody read from the book, because that's always what happens in this story. And then we hop in time a little bit, all throughout, while exploring the relationship of what happens with Imhotep and the past and this disembodied voice of Anaxenamur. We see the way that they were connected in the past, and Helen's maybe her previous life, right? Then the bond between Helen and this voice, um, it starts to turn because it becomes a little bit more intense with Imhotep, right? Helen tries to navigate these new emotions, this new conflict, but in the end, she ends up losing control, which is, I feel like, a very big thematic thing that happens throughout the series. And then it just all culminates whether Helen and this voice must decide if she is to reject her fate, if she is to reject this link to the mummy, and then also how to go on moving forward, right? Who's going to be in control? And then is the voice, is Anaxenamur willing to take the life of Helen just to get back to her old past? And then, of course, will the mummy stand in the way, and will there be anybody that can help out Helen? We do meet a few people that are involved with Helen. We have a young boy who's also involved with archaeology, so that definitely comes into the fact. So yeah, it's really really fun. It's a really cool story. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very cool. There's some really cool panels all throughout, which you'll see some art throughout here. Whether it's the mummy emerging from the sand, whether it's some of these flashbacks that we see in very cool tones that really highlight how different this is. I think there's a few big splash pages where you kind of see this whole ancient power awaken. And then, of course, in the last issue, things get very, very, very quickly paced, a lot of smaller panels, and as the conflict kind of tries to resolve. So, yeah, I think it's very cool. I really enjoyed it. And I haven't read much from Hicks, but I think that is something that I definitely want to maybe search a little bit more of their work. So if you have read this book or any of the other Universal Monsters books, let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then, of course, stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.